Okay. So just guys, who has been joined for the today's class? This is your first class, so nothing has been happened in the previous class, guys. It is just an introduction part, because we are going to be taking some 3 to 4 days of introduction classes actually, guys. 3 to 4 days we are going to be taking the introduction classes we are going to be taking actually. Okay. So in this introduction class, our main target is to just make the guys to understand what exactly it is going to be. So what exactly the data science, what we are going to be learning, as part of our course curriculum. So what are the different topics we are going to discuss? As I told you, 2 to 3 classes it will take it. At least minimum 3 sessions it will take it actually, guys. So yesterday I have been given some idea, like in a full stack data science course, mainly what are the core concepts we have to learn. One is going to be AI, and the other one is going to be ML, and this is going to be DL. So all these are going to be collectively what we are going to call it as a data science actually, guys. Actually, I have not yet discussed about what is data science, because it is too early to discuss. Currently, we are discussing only about the what is ML. Currently, we are talking about which is the main concept actually, guys. Which is the main core concept is going to be machine learning. As part of our data science, directly we can't go for AI, guys. Directly we can't go for AI. It is going to be ML. DL is going to be part of our ML actually, guys. So DL is also going to be one concept which is going to be part of our ML concept actually. So we are learning ML. After learning ML, we'll go for the DL, and after that we'll go for the AI is what we are going to be learning about that. So we have been started with some introduction part of what is machine learning. So just an idea. So even if you have been missed the session, no worries, because we are going to share you the recorded videos actually, guys. We are going to be sharing sharing the recorded videos actually. So whatever the demo sessions you have been that has been happened, so we are going to share you those particular recording videos also. So whatever I have been discussed, hardly guys 45 minutes, 50 minutes discussion I have been done, not more than that actually. So it's not a big theory also, just an idea, just an example. Just it is going to be an examples what we have been got talking about that. Okay, so that is what we have been got discussed about that. Just a quick idea actually, guys. It is going to be a quick idea to make you understand that. Once again, just a recap of the session. Like as I told you, what is machine learning actually? So data was given to the machines. Machines are going to learn from the data actually, guys. So data was given to the machines. Machines are going to study the data. Yes, I'll tell you guys. Yes, Mohanty. Obviously, um, obviously, because the data science itself is going to be all about the mathematical techniques. So whatever we are going to be, so this is going to be a mathematical techniques actually. Complete data science is all about the mathematical techniques. Or simple to say that it is a mathematical solution to a real-time problems. So we are solving the real-time business problems with the help of some mathematical and statistical techniques actually. So if you want to learn the data science, obviously we have to require some maths and stats is going to be required. So which we are going to be discussing as part of our sessions only we are going to be discussing. So one of the main advantage in my class actually, guys, one of the main advantage in my class is going to be I am going to be explaining about each and every algorithm completely. Like it's not like, because I have seen so many trainings actually. So what the way they conduct here is how to apply the machine learning algorithm. Okay, fine. But how exactly, just if you, even it is going to be too early for you, but just which is going to be just hardly, it is going to be your previous. That means just it is going to be around some 6 p.m. batch actually, guys. This is one of the algorithm actually. See guys, how my class will be there actually. So see, this is going to be how clearly my explanation, how it is going to be gets one. It's nothing but the class, how the explanation is going to be there, how it is going to works. Okay, you may not understand that, but this is going to be at evening 6 o'clock today, at 21st September at 6:42. Today's class, just 1 hour before your session has been happened actually. So what is decision tree, what is KNN, how it will works, how the data points, you can understand. Even a person who do not have any technical knowledge also, which is going to be what we are going to be gets working with them actually. This is going to be the way what we are going to be gets working as part of these applications actually. Okay, so this is going to be the way which I can explain that particular one. So the main concept here is the maths, because I was also and interested in the maths and even everything. So like calculus and all these things, I also has been got recapped all the things. Everybody without maths, nobody is going to be. Everybody has to learn the maths, at least basic maths. Without having the maths, no education system is going to be going on actually. Whether it is a schooling or a college, minimum you have to study the minimum maths. So whatever the maths and whatever the stats that is required, we are going to be learning as part of our the training session. We are going to be gets covering actually. Okay. Yes, Pramod. Yes, any question? You have raised your hand.
Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, sir, I just want to know only one query. So,
Yes.
okay, that is the data science course. So,
Yes.
what I'm asking here, does actually data engineer support data science,
No,
or it's nothing like that?
nothing like that. Data engineers are different. Data engineers roles are going to be nothing but like they makes the data actually. That means they will collect all the data systems. Their main activity is nothing but just I can say that the pool up the data. So whatever the data scientist or whatever the data analytics people require, or whatever the business people requires, their main role is going to be nothing but all that particular data, pooling up all the data from various systems, creating some data pipelines. All these are going to make a data engineer. Data scientist is
Okay,
nothing but who is going to be works on that particular data actually.
okay, got it, sir. One more thing, like actually, does in data science particularly SQL, like no SQL or any database are required?
It's not at all required because mostly we are going to be doing the same. That means whatever the SQL kind of things we are going to be in, whatever the SQL we are going to do it, the same thing we are also going to be doing, but without using any SQL. But we cannot
Yeah,
call it
that's
like
right.
a NoSQL. But we cannot call it
Yeah,
like a NoSQL actually.
yeah.
Because
So
NoSQL
without,
databases are different. There are going to be something different, like we have a MongoDB, etc. There are different cases actually. So here it is going to be we don't use SQL, but the operations will be same like whatever we do it in SQL.
so but without using a SQL also we can go ahead, right? No
You can
problem.
go ahead. Like, do you have the idea? Do you have the idea about SQL systems?
No, actually not. That is the reason which. But
Any idea? That means any idea means do you know about any database systems?
that is PostgreSQL actually,
Okay,
and
fine.
MySQL.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. You have some data, you have a database system. Let us say that as you are saying that it may be a Postgres or it may be MySQL database is there. So generally what we will do is, so we are going to be using something like, actually to work with this MySQL, obviously you have to use a language like an SQL is a language what you have to use it actually, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what I am going to do is, if you say that, let us say that if I was a data scientist, so you have a data in the MySQL, then what I am going to do is, I am going to pull all this data and I am going
Hmm.
to be storing into my Python, and I am going to work with this particular data in the Python systems.
Hmm.
Because Python provides all the utilities to analyze the data actually. It may be a Python or it may be R or some languages I'm going to be using. So I'll pull the
Hmm.
data, store it in my Python systems, and then I'm going to do some analytics and all these applications I do.
Okay.
Okay, so
Understood.
I don't use SQL concept, but whatever the SQL kind of things we do, beyond that, we are going to be doing as part of the Python and R, as part of our
So
data
that.
analytics part. We are doing.
So yeah, without using SQL also we are good, right? We are good
Yes, we are good.
to
We
go
are
ahead.
good. We are good. No problem. We
So
completely
SQL,
Thank
depends on Python and R. We don't use any languages at all. But if you have some knowledge, that is going to be something. That means not always. Sometimes, as I'm saying, no, for example, your business is maintaining the data in MySQL. So if you want to
you.
pull the data into Python, at least some basic knowledge about MySQL, how to connect the Python to my MySQL. Directly it cannot pull it. No, we have to create some communication, some connection has to
Okay.
be created, something like an ODBC, something, at least some basic ideas like basic SQL. If we have that, that is the case. If you are working not with the MySQL database, that is going to be the fine case. Directly, no issue of SQL concepts at all.
Okay.
Sir,
Right?
sir,
Yes, yes,
sir,
yes.
Thank you. Thanks.
sir, SQL codes are compatible with the Python platform?
SQL. I didn't get your question. That means, can you elaborate it? That means what you are planning. What is your what you want to do that actually?
No, you just told me before that actually SQL,
Mm.
MySQL codes are compatible.
No,
It's
no,
converted to.
no, no, not converted. Whatever the data that is there in the MySQL, I will dump this data into my Python. In MySQL, there is a table is there. Whenever I pull the data, I'll pull that particular data into my Python system. Here it is going to become something what we are going to call it as a data frames and something what we call it as. And we have some manipulations with the data frame. Without using SQL, I'll do all the manipulations.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we don't write anything about that. Okay. Yes. How data engineering different? I think, yeah, I think I have been answered the question how data engineering is different from a data scientist. Yes, Mohanty, what is this question? OSBC concept will you teach? Is it OSBC or anything is a typo? Yeah, ODBC. Yeah, okay. As I told you, if you want to connect with the database systems, we require some kind of an ODBC connections are going to be required. Okay, actually we don't have them because most of the people, it's going to be, it's not a big problem at all actually, guys. It's going to be initially, it may be something new to you, but once you started working with the Python, everything you are going to be gets learning, even from my side or by your self learning also we can learn it. You will see this actually, that is a beauty of the Python actually. So in Python, initially somebody will teach you. After that, remaining things you can easily learn by yourself actually. So when you go to the Python, you will understand that application. But ODBs and all these things is not a, it's not a big problem at all. We can work with them actually. Okay, fine guys. Now let us come to the discussion, guys. So data was what we are trying to discuss actually, guys. Data is going to be given to the machine. Machine is going to learn from the data actually, guys. That is what we generally call it as machines are going to be gets trained. Yes, yes, Chaudhary. Any question? Yes, guys. Yes, if you have any doubt, please. Okay, by mistake. Okay. 15 years experience in accounts is as accounts manager. So AML data science will help you to transform. Absolutely, yes, Mukesh. You can move, but you have to show at least, because you have been got worked with accounts means you maybe have been worked with some numbers and some kind of but their accounts are going to be different actually. We don't do any analysis and all these things, but you have some exposure to the data actually. So once if we have some exposure to the data, so as you can see, like in your accounts, so like you don't do, I think you don't, as an accounts related application, you don't do any something like an analysis and all these things. It's like an creating of some kind of an balance sheets or something you are going to be doing. We are not domain experts in that actually, but being you are having some exposure to the data, so how that particular data is going to be behaving, so what is that going to be story behind that particular data, we can do some kind of analytics. But you cannot put all your 15 years, but at least if you can show some around 3-4 years of experience as in fake, as in which is going to be data scientist or data analyst, so you can get the particular jobs opportunities. Okay, fine guys, so let us go for the discussion guys, and please don't mind. At the last, I'm going to give you 15-20 minutes, at least 15 minutes. I'm going to give you the question time. So at that time, we'll have a discussion actually, guys, because this will disturb the class actually. Okay, please don't mind. If you have any technical questions, you please feel free to discuss with me. If you have any questions like how the job opportunities, if you have, we'll discuss at the end of the class actually. Okay, fine. Please don't mind, guys. So data was given to the machine. As I said that machines are going to learn from the data. Machines are going to be trained by giving some data, and the machines are going to learn And whatever that has been got learned, they are going to be coming like an insights. Based on that insights, we are going to be doing some kind of a predictions actually, guys. This is going to be what simply I can say machine learning is all about. That we have some data with us, give the data to the machine, machine studies the data, machine is going to studies the data, machine is going to learn from the data, and based on that particular learning, what it has been learned, everything is going to be given to us as an, which is going to be the insights, and based on the insights, we are going to be doing the predictions. And I told you about some examples actually, guys. I told you about some examples actually. So let us say that from the past customers data, so who has been taken the loans, so who has been taken the loans, the past customers data, the machine can identify who is the defaulters and who are the non-defaulters. Based on that, from the current customers, who could be the defaulters and who could be the non-defaulters, it can predict actually, guys. Prediction. The defaulters and non-defaulters predictions can be gets done. Non-defaulters. So by studying the past customers data, in future, who could be the defaulters, who could be the non-defaulters, it can identify. As I told you about that, something like, which is going to be something like a clinical data. So clinical data, like it can be something like how much blood sugar is going to be there. Okay, something we are having some clinical data, like how much is going to be the blood pressure, and what is going to be some, let us say that it is going to be the cholesterol levels, actually the cholesterol numbers, something we are having something like an creatine. So these are some of the medical, the clinical data actually, guys. Like, so what is the fasting blood sugar, what is going to be the post-lunch blood sugar, is going to be the blood cholesterols, like which is going to be blood pressure, creatines, etc. Based on that, in future, is it going to get any heart attack? So whether it is going to be a positive for a particular diagnosis or whether it is going to be negative for a particular diagnosis. Not only these guys, once you start working with them, will understanding a lot of things will understand it. So anything can be predicted. Anything can be predicted actually, guys. The latest news we have been seen about that. So we can develop a machine learning algorithm which can communicate with the animals, which can understand which can communicate with the animals actually. There is one of the latest research that is going to be going on. So we have a lot of things. So we can develop a machine learning algorithms which can predict, that means what that particular the dog is saying, or what is going to be that particular cat is saying that. So we can easily understand its particular language. You can speak with the animals actually directly. So something like that. Okay, so anyhow, there are a lot of examples are there. The best example, one more example I told you, like emails. So which are going to be spam emails and which are going to be the non-spam emails. Non-spam is generally what we are going to call it as ham messages. So identifying the emails which has a spam or which has a ham. So how your mail servers will identify? Nobody will sit on the system there. Nobody is going to check the mail. From the past emails, which are already we have been marked. So these emails are going to be nothing but spam messages, like spam messages, how it will identify. Depending on the words, the machines will study the words. The machines will study the words. So in the spam messages, the words, like we know that, like if the word is going to be like, which is going to be lottery, something like, for example, pay, let us say, which is going to be free, let us say that it is going to be price, one, something, subscribe. All these are the words which are identified by the machines. Machines identified them. Machines identified them. We'll only tell the procedure, but machines are going to do the remaining things actually, guys. So these are the words which are going to be available, which are going to be present in the spam messages actually. So those type of words are going to be predicted as n, which is going to be spam messages. So it's a purely a machine learning algorithm which passes through the machine learning algorithm. The machine learning algorithm predicts whether it is a spam or whether it is a ham messages actually. So like that, it's a kind of a predictive analysis actually, guys. Tell the machine what has been happened in the past. So what has been happened in the past, tell it to the machine in a format of a data. In a format of a data, we have to tell it to the machine. So tomorrow, whether it will rain or does not rains. So tell me from the past 10 days, depending on the in which weather conditions it was rain and whether in which weather conditions it was not rain. machine will study the data. So it will identify if the weather conditions are like that, it will be rain. If the weather conditions are not like this, it does not rain. So tell me, what is the today's weather condition, whether the temperature is cool or whether the temperature is hot, whether there is a wind or whether there is no wind, how it is going to be looking like, whether it is like a cloudy or whether it is a sunny. So automatically the machines will tell whether today it will rain or does not rain actually. So simple technique actually, guys. Understanding the past based on that predicting the future. That is the main target about the machine learning. Who is going to understand the past? The machines are going to understand the past. So coming here, if data was given to the machine, if machine is going to get the insights and machine can do the prediction, then what is our work here actually? That is what we are trying to discuss here, guys. As yesterday already I told you, the guys who has been attended the last class. So what are the technical aspects in machine learning? So what are going to be the technical aspects in the machine learning? That is what we are trying to discuss actually. So how the machines will learn directly, the machines can't directly take the data and machines cannot learn the data actually, guys, isn't it? So there is some procedure is there, which we have to follow the procedure. First of all, the data has to be given to the machine. Now today I'm talking about what are the techniques, what are the technical aspects, what we have to know to work with this particular machine learning applications. So as I said that machine is going to take the data. Machine directly does not take the data actually, guys. Somebody has to do some feed. Somebody has to feed the data to the machine. So where is the data is there? The data may be, some data may be there in, sometimes it is there in a CSV file. Sometimes it is there in an Excel sheet. Sometimes it is going to be there in some other JSON file, or it may be some other files actually, guys. Just now we have discussed now. Data is there in a database system. So first of all, how to collect the data from the database system. So the first technique is, we are going to be learning a technique called as a data collection. It is going to be all about learning about some techniques actually, guys. It is all about learning about some techniques. Some kind of a mathematical techniques, some of them statistical techniques, some of them are going to be some programming techniques. These are going to be something we have to learn. So the first technique we have to learn is actually, guys, data collection. So as part of the data collection, we learn a lot of techniques actually, like how to read the data. So it is going to be, we are going to be reading the data, guys. So read from different file formats. Different file formats actually, guys. Different file formats. So many formats, like it may be a .csv, or it may be a .excel sheet, or it may be, sometimes it may be, nowadays we are using a JSON files, or it may be something like a SAS files, or it may be some kind of a database systems. So we are going to learn all these techniques. You should know about all these techniques actually. How do you collect your data? That is what we are going to call it as a data collection, what we are going to call it as. It's what we are going to call it as a data collection is what we are going to call it as actually. So don't expect that always the data is going to be ready, like in a clean set format, which is ready to read. Every time the data is not going to be in a correct format actually, guys. I just want to, that means you are not aware about the technical aspects of that, but don't worry about that. Just I'll show you, I'm going to tell you like how the data is going to be there. So don't think that data is going to be, everything is going to be ready to use. Data may not be every time ready to use actually, guys. There are some different problems will be there, different issues will be there. Nowadays data is coming in a structured format and an unstructured format actually. So don't think that every time data is ready to utilize, readily the machines can study them actually. No, there is going to be different options will be there actually, guys. So don't worry. This is what I'm going to call it as a Jupyter notebooks. How to work on them, how to get the Jupyter notebook in your system. All these things I will discuss about them. Those are going to be in our regular classes. We'll start with them. Don't worry. Just I want to show you actually, guys. So don't worry. Python is this is a Python language actually, guys. Very simple. Very simple. Even a person who do not have any idea about programming languages, they can learn it actually. So this is going to be a Pandas is a Python library, which we have to import it actually, guys. Don't worry. No coding is required. We don't write C program, C++, main method. Okay, something like class, public static void main. We don't do all these programming skills actually, guys. So don't worry about this. Just I'm showing you what are the main problems in the data set actually, guys. So just for your understanding, I'm going to be reading some data actually, guys. Have a look at the data actually, guys. So this is the data, how the data was there. If you observe carefully, it is not in a proper format also actually, guys. It is not in a proper format first of all. So can you see the data was not in a proper format? These kinds of comments are not very useful. Are they name, jan, fib, etc.? So that line you just read has all the columns. IBM 156, that MFCT is going to be stand for Microsoft. Something, some random data is going to be there actually, guys. So these are some of the skills we require it actually, guys. These are going to be some of the skills which we are going to be required actually. See, I'm putting all the data. I specified that the data is having a separator equals to space. So don't worry about them. There are going to be multiple options are going to be there. 0, 1, 2, 3. So header is going to be there at the third position or second position. 0, 1, 2. Okay. Whatever it may be, does not matters with that. So actually it is nothing but the stock prices of various companies actually, guys. It's going to be nothing but the stock prices of various company. IBM in January, what is the stock price? Microsoft, what is the stock price? In Google, what is the stock price? What is Apple stock price? But we have some unnecessary data is there. So we have to pull all this data out. So we have some techniques are there. Simply if I read the data does not comes to me. There are multiple options are going to be there actually. So we are going to be having, that is what we are going to be learning as part of these particular applications actually. So don't worry about that. So it is going to be at the second, and we have to skip the third one. We have to skip the fourth, fifth. This is sixth, and it is going to be seventh, eighth, and it is a ninth. Let us try them. So if it is not working in a proper format, we'll see that application later. Don't worry about the things. So don't worry, because now observe carefully. Now the data was completely in the clean format actually. This is completely in the clean format. What is the name of the company? What are the various months? So IBM in January, this is the stock price. This is February. This is March, April for Microsoft, Google, and Apple. Clearly the data in a structured format. But actual data is not in a proper structured format. If you want to see, I'll show you the file. If you want to see the file, I'll show you the file. We have as yesterday somebody asked me, sir, will you work with some real data sets actually? Absolutely. Everything is going to be a real data sets actually, guys. That means some data sets I will prepare basically for our understanding the concept. This is the messy data.csv file, this data. This is the data what we can see. This is my CSV file. Previously I have seen probably some data should just throw this line away. These kinds are going to be there. So we can see this is going to be the data what we are having. This is the data what that has been provided to us. But this data is not useful for us. All data is not useful for us. This data I have been got converted into this particular structured format like this. But for that I used some options actually. So what are the different options we have to use? In which scenarios we have to use them? So all those things we will be discussing about that, right? Yes, Mohanty, right? Is it fine? That is what you want to see, right? So you can speak, guys. You can just unmute yourself and you can speak. You should be, the class is like an interactive class. It's not a video session actually. If it is a video session, you will be kept in mute. We'll play the video. It's not going to be like a live session. Live session means session is a live, but it is not that if you go through some live sessions, gets muted. You will be get muted actually. Only you have to type the messages. Here you can unmute and you can allow to speak. Okay. Now look at this one, guys. So data was collected, but after collecting the data, we have to do some kind of an analysis actually, guys. We have to do some kind of an analysis, some basic analysis we have to do. So why we have to do the basic analysis mean, you may get a doubt. Sir, you said that machine will understand the data. Yes, machines understands the data. But whether the data is in a proper format, is there any missing data is there? For example, if some data is missing actually, guys, machines can't learn actually. So which is going to be, which machines cannot learn it actually, guys. So we have to do some basic analytics. We have to do that actually. A basic analytics, we have to do that. These are all some kind of a skills. Don't think that we'll use some softwares and we are going to be just give the data, the machine will do. No, guys. There is going to be some, there is going to be some kind of a data analysis is what we have to do it actually, guys. Generally, this task is what we are going to call it as an EDA, what we are going to call it as. Technically here, we are going to call it as an EDA, guys. Exploratory data analysis. This is one of the important technique every data scientist or a data analyst has to learn. First of all, we have to do some analytics actually. So machines will do the analytics. Machines will understand the data. But prior to that, whether the data is in a proper format so that the machines can learn all that particular, just like we are preparing all the, it's like a all pre-processing actually. So sometimes your data may not be, in our example, the data is a very clean data. But in some real application, the data may not be that much clean data actually, guys. So we have to do some kind of a data cleaning, or what we are going to call it as a cleansing actually, guys. Actually, data cleansing is also part of your data analytics part only, as a part of EDA. It is not as part of analysis, it is going to be part of EDA. All these are part of EDA actually, guys. Data cleansing we have to do. These are all part, I cannot say that only data analytics. All these are part of what we are going to call it as EDA. If you go through some any websites or all these things, we have a very good what we can say that a good blogs are there, guys. So a lot of we are going to be having a lot of this one is there, as I told you, EDA. It is going to be the EDA part actually, guys. Exploratory data analysis. So so as part of this particular EDA part, we have to do some basic statistical analysis. We have to do some data cleansing. And to understand the data more and more, sometimes data visualization is important actually, guys. Previously, we have been, I shown you know, guys, at 6 o'clock, as I said that there is going to be, this is what I can call it as a data visualization actually. I'm visually showing the data actually, guys. So even you are not aware about this, you can easily understand what are these red color data points. You can see here now, there are train apples. What are these orange color data points? There are train oranges. And what are these stars actually? What are test samples? You may not be aware about what is train, what is test. But the idea is going to be, this is data visualization. We are doing some kind of an EDA, what we are doing it actually, guys. So this is what we call it as a visual EDA. If you want, you can go and you can just verify. So what generally we do it as part of a EDA, exploratory data analysis. Just an example I'm showing you actually, guys. So this is going to be one of the online resource we are going to use this actually, guys, towards datascience.com. I'll tell you, I'm going to tell you, don't worry. Okay, don't worry about that. This is going to be, just give me a minute once. So no worries, guys. Actually, there is going to be some limitation will be there. You cannot read that many articles on the blog. You have to pay. If you don't want to pay, there is an option is going to be there. So you have to open the incognito window actually, guys. So this is exploratory data analysis, visualization using Pandas. So what we have to do, first they have been imported the data sets actually, guys. You can observe carefully, pd.read_csv, e-commerce_data.csv, same, whatever I done actually, guys. Load the data. After that, they will do a little bit EDA part is going to be done actually, guys. These are going to be some statistical analysis of the data. Sometimes they are going to visualize the data. These are what we call it as box plots actually, guys. These are what we call it as box plots. It's a part of histograms. So many different types of, these are what we call it as correlation matrix. These are going to be scatter plots are going to be there. So all these are going to be part of your EDA part. So as part of EDA, we have to do all these kind of an applications actually. Okay, hope you understood what I'm trying to say it actually, guys. Pie charts, these are going to be nothing but there are the pie charts actually, guys. So many has been got used in the application actually. Okay, so leave it, does not matter with that. So data analysis, data cleansing, and it is going to be what we can say that it is going to be a, all these are going to be part of your EDA part actually. So we have to do Some EDA is what exactly we have to do it actually, guys, which we call it as exploratory data analysis. So once if you do all these things, your data is going to be ready for your the machine to understand it. Later we'll discuss about. So if you just give the data, the machines can't study the data actually, guys. We have some standard notations are there. We have a standard formats are there. You have to follow that particular formats. Later we'll study them. What are those? We'll study that later actually. So these are all going to be done by manually by the user actually, guys. These are all going to be done by the user manually. These are not any machine operated actually. Everything is going to be done by the machine, the user. After this, the main important step actually, guys, the machines are going to be learned from the data. That is what we are going to call it as the training, where the machine is going to learn actually, guys. Machine learns. So we'll feed the data. There is some standard notations will be there. So previously we have seen, guys, something like train test is there. We'll give some train data. The machine is going to be gets trained actually. But don't think that if you just feed the data, the machine automatically learns actually, guys. No. How the machine has to learn how to solve this particular problem. Like I have given some customers data. From here, you have to find out who is the defaulters, who is the non-defaulters. I have given some clinical data. From here, you have to find out whether the medical diagnosis is positive or whether it is negative. I'm giving some emails. So you have to identify whether it is a spam or whether it is a non-spam messages. If I give some CT scan reports or X-ray reports are nothing but images. If I give the images, so from these particular images, you have to identify whether it is going to be diagnosed as positive, negative actually. So how the machine has to learn, there will be some guidance must be there. So we went to the school to learn, but directly we just simply went to the school, and from the school we didn't learn by ourselves. There is somebody is there who is going to supervise you. Even that there is a terminology is there actually, guys. In machine learning, we have a terminology: supervised and unsupervised learning. Supervised learning means somebody under somebody's supervision, we are going to learn it actually. So there the teachers will be there. In our school and colleges, we have some teachers that are going to guide us, that are going to, we learn, but under the guidance of somebody, a mentor or somebody it is going to be. So here the machine learns actually, but how the machines are going to learn? With the help of something what we are going to call it as the machine learning algorithms actually, guys. So maybe while you have learning some C language, you maybe have learned some kind of sorting algorithms you have been seen, you may have been learned. So to perform some sorting, normal general sorting, we know that, but sorting is going to be generally, we don't give that much preference for the sorting actually, guys. We generally don't give any preference for the sorting. Sorting means generally it is just putting the data in ascending order and descending order actually, guys. But in the computer field, this sorting plays a very, very important role actually, guys. A very, very important role. Like for example, somebody developed a system. I developed a system actually, guys. So how fast this particular machine is going to be performing? So we are going to perform some kind of a sorting operations. We'll ask the machine to sort this particular data. I'll give maybe some around 1 TB data I'll give, and ask the machine, can you sort this particular data? The system has to sort the data. Based on that, we'll measure how much fast is that particular machine is going to be there. We don't give preference for sorting. Sorting means in our idea, it is just ascending, descending order. That's it. But in the real applications, guys, in the research, when you talk about the research, sorting algorithms plays a very important role. To measure the performance of the machines, to measure the how fast that particular machine is working, further we are going to be applying some kind of a sorting algorithm. This is a supercomputer. So on what basis it says that it sorted a data of 10 TB within 7 seconds of time. The previous system has taken some around 70 minutes of time. Now it has been done only in 7 seconds of time. It is like something like it's going to be nothing but one of the the metric which that is going to be most of the machines will use us actually. Same like that in coming to our applications actually, guys, it is going to be an ML algorithms. So as I told you, the main important is to understand this machine learning algorithms actually, guys. We have to study this algorithm. There are different types of algorithms will be there. I'm just adding some points actually. We are going to be having something called as a classification algorithms. We are going to be having something what we are going to call it as a regression algorithms. Maybe guys, before attending this session, maybe you already have some people, you are having a lot of online courses are going to be there. Now after this pandemic, the market was open. You may have attended. You may have attended some other demos in some other institute or something like that. So there may be, you may be used these terminologies. Maybe you heard about the terminologies like classification, regression, clustering algorithms, etc. actually, isn't it? So here the main, whatever the advantage or why, that means what is going to be how the machine learning has been became that much successful in the current scenario actually, guys. It is not due to any language like Python. It's not the powerfulness of the Python actually, guys. It's not the powerfulness of the Python or not the powerfulness of some other language. It is the powerfulness of this machine learning algorithms. So today, this machine learning has become a very big success. You are using AI systems, you are talking about deep learning, we are getting a lot of jobs. These are all due to this particular ML algorithms actually. We'll talk about history actually, guys. I'll talk about history. Sir, then why it was not there? As you know, as you maybe heard about that. This machine learning was started in the year 1959, guys. Around 1960 it was started. But it was not success almost all up to 2010. Up to 2010, it was not there is no success stories from them. Why? Because it is mainly two reasons. We don't have any powerful machine learning algorithms. Why you are unable to have a machine learning algorithms, a powerful machine learning algorithms? Your machines are not that much don't have any that much computing power. But after 2010, the computing power has been increased actually, guys. We'll also talk about that history. 20 years, it's an olden days means it is not 50, 60 years back, guys. Coming to the technology, olden days means it is just a 5, 6 years back. Clearly, guys, from the last 10 years, there is a technology change has been happened in the last 10 years only. Whatever today we are seeing about this, whatever the modernization we are seeing, is happened only in the last 10 years, 10 to 12 years back actually, guys. It's not 50 years back, 60 years. Before that, we used to talk about them in 1970s, 1960s. Now, the olden days means it is not 1960s or not 1860s. It is hardly after 2010. All the technology has been completely changed. Today, whatever we are enjoying, the technology is completely from the last 10 years actually. Last 10, 12 years, not more than that. 15 years, hardly, guys. 15 years is a hardly one what we can see that actually. So here the powerfulness of this machine learning is not due to a Python or not due to a R. It is completely due to this a powerful machine learning algorithms and plus the computing power of the systems actually. Both are interrelated actually, guys, because due to this computing power only, we are able to develop a very powerful machine learning algorithms. Around before 2000s, the computing power is very slow. That's not that much highly computed. So we are unable to develop some kind of an complex algorithms. But once the computing power has been came to the machines, the research people are able to develop a very, very powerful and which is going to be complex algorithms. They are able to develop it actually. That is the reason why this has been taken actually. Yes, Chaudhary. So again, we are in a good discussion actually. So we'll come back to that. Okay, fine. I'll answer your question later. Okay, so once the machine was trained actually, guys, the machine has been trained. So once the machine is trained, we cannot directly, the machine has been trained, it has came up with some insights. So whether that machine has been learned properly or not, That is what we have to do it actually, guys. That is nothing but what we are going to call it as an evaluation. So it is something like we go to school, the teachers are going to train us. Okay, so to verify, to evaluate how much extent we have been learned, will be conducted one examination actually. Evaluation is nothing but some kind of an examination to the machine. Okay, you learned something, no? I'll give you this data. Can you tell me what is going to be the answers for them? You give the answers. How many answers, how many questions you have been answered correctly? How many questions you have been answered wrongly? That is your score. Same as it is, here also we have to evaluate your model performance. The machine is going to be create some machine learning models will be trained. So how effectively the machine has been learned. So we have to evaluate it. This is the only step which machine is going to be does actually, guys. That too with the help of an algorithm. We don't write any logic for the algorithm, guys. There are some algorithms will be there, directly will use it and implement it. But evaluation is going to be done by the machine. Evaluation, that is how good the model is working. And after that, we'll try to improve the performance. We have to improve the performance actually, guys. Okay, today we are, so even in our school also. So let us say that the student is getting, let us say only 60% only. So how to improve the performance? So explain them, teach them properly or in a easy ideas. So take care some about that, conduct some extra hours. How the teachers will try to improve the performance of the students. Same as it is the machine learning also works. So here machine is going to be your student, guys. We are going to be the teachers. That's it. We are going to be the teacher. An ML expert is going to be a teacher. With the help of some techniques and some technologies, we'll make the machine to learn. So out of these 6 or 7 steps, whatever I'm talking about, only this 5th step is going to be done by the machine. That too with the help of a machine learning algorithm. Machines can't learn it directly, guys. With some help of some algorithms only, they will learn. So first, once again, guys, collect the data, do some data analytics, do some data cleansing, some pre-processing techniques actually, guys. These are all going to be, we are going to call it as some kind of a pre-processing techniques are there. Some data visualization, all these are part of EDA. All these are part of your EDA. Once the data was ready, once you feel that data is ready to make the machine to learn, then we have to go for this particular machine learning. This is a task actually, guys, where the machine will learn actually, which generally we are going to call it as training, fitting, whatever we call it as. Later we discuss about. But machines will learn with the help of some kind of an algorithm. There are different types of algorithms are there. Even coming to classification also, we have a different types of algorithms. Regression, we have a different types of algorithms. Clustering, we have a different types of algorithms. After that, we are going to be doing some kind of an evaluation. So how do you evaluate the model performance? And after that, we are going to be doing something called as an improving of model performance. All these are going to be, we are going to perform as part of our machine learning applications actually. What do you do it in deep learning? What do you do it in AI? Put it aside actually. But as part of our machine learning application, first concentration is only on machine learning, guys. Forget about what is deep learning, what is AI. I'll give an idea how we are going to be doing this. So these are going to be the technical aspects, or these are the technical, whatever you have to learn technically whenever we want to implement the machine learning. And as I told you, the success stories of this machine learning is not due to any some language. It is due to the powerfulness of the machine learning algorithms. Plus, and that too, why it is happened actually, guys, it is due to the computing power of the system. But sir, how do you do all these things? Will you use any tools? How do you collect your data? How do you do the analytics? How do you clean the data? How do you do the data visualization? So whenever I say data visualization means, the immediately that comes to the mind is, it may be a Power BI or it may be a Tableau. Will you learn any such kind of a tools? Sir, how do you apply the machine learning applications? How do you evaluate them? We don't use any tools here actually, guys. We are not going to be using any tools here. Completely, we are going to be doing by using a language called as Python. Or it may be another language, don't worry. So it is going to be Python or R. This is going to be most commonly used languages actually, guys. You may get a question. I may get a question saying that, sir, why Python? Why not Java? Because Python provides you all the utilities to perform all these operations actually, guys. So you need not to depend on, for example, if we take some language, maybe it can do data collection. It may do data analytics, but it may not do the data visualizations. You may not have the utilities to perform the machine learning applications. Python providing all these utilities actually, guys. You can do data collection, you can do the data analysis, you can do the data cleansing, we do the data visualizations, we apply all the machine learning algorithms, we have all the techniques to evaluate the model performance, whatever the techniques that are required for improve the performance, all these are going to be implemented, can be implemented with the help of this particular Python and R. So popular language I'm going to be using is, we are going to be using Python, and also you will be having an not introduction part. We are also going to spend some, it's going to be a reasonable time actually. It can be a reasonable time on this particular R language also. So once our machine learning or this course is completed, you will be in a position, I'm not talking about DL and machine, the other things, you will be in a position to apply all the mathematical and statistical techniques which are going to be used as part of our machine learning algorithms, and how to control that algorithms, how to apply them, how to evaluate them. All these things you can do with the help of a language like either Python or by using an R language actually. So this is going to be all about my second introduction class, where I have been given some technical aspects, like in machine learning, what we do. Don't think that directly machine is going to be fed with the data. So as a user, as a machine learning expert, first collect the data, do some analysis on that, cleanse the data if it required. If you require, do some lot of the visualizations, EDA part we have to do. And once the data is ready to learn, give it to the machine. But while giving the data also, you have to specify, you have to learn by using this machine learning algorithm. So feed that particular input to them, machine will learn how much effectively it has been learned, evaluate it. And if it is possible, it is giving only 80% score. So how do you improve them? Make it 90%, make it 100%, something like that. We can do it actually, guys. Okay. So that is going to be all about this particular, what we are talking about, the technical aspects about this machine learning actually, guys. Got it? So that's it from my side, guys, for the today's class. So now already 9:10. So our class time is from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. actually, guys. Initially, it's I don't take that much complete classes, 9:15, 9:20, some etc. So once the regular classes will start, then we'll make up a little bit regular. We'll also increase the duration of our timings also. Okay, guys. Fine. Now I can take up the questions, guys. Now, if you have any questions, so you can feel free to discuss now, guys. Okay. So any questions, guys, now? Obviously, why data visualization is important means, if you want to understand the data visualization plays a very important role. It's what we call it as a visual EDA. Normally, when you see the data, as a text format, we can't understand it actually. So unless and until you visualize them, then only we are going to be, then only we can understand the data actually. So the relation between the variables, something like that we'll be having. Like, let us talk about a small example. I'll just show you, don't worry about that. So don't worry, what I am trying to do, don't worry about that. There is a data set is there, which is going to be some user cars.csv. Why I'm talking about, because is you can easily understand the data actually. So once if you see the data, I'm just showing you some sample 4 or 5 records. It will show you the first 5 records actually. It is the data of something like a cars data set, user cars data set. That is what I can say, second-hand data. So generally we know that, like what is the car price? That means how the cars price are going to be decided actually. Generally, whenever it comes to the user cars, that means whenever I'm buying a second-hand car, basically it is going to be depends on the how many miles it was already used. So as you know that more, that means if a car was there, which was used for 50,000 kilometers. Same year, that means let us say that the car was, the manufacturing year is going to be 2015. 7 years. Almost all 7 years was over. Now I have a car with some 50,000 kilometers. Same model, same color, same company, everything is same, but it was used for 20,000 kilometers. So we know that more the use, less the price. So I want to find the relation between them actually. So it is going to be a relation between them actually. So how do you find the relation? As you know that as the mileage increases, as the number of miles increases, the price decreases. It's a negative correlation, what we are going to call it as. I just want to show you. So don't worry about what I'm trying to do it actually. So just I'm going to be using, see how simple I'm going to be using it actually. So to confirm that, if you normally see the data, I cannot understand the data actually. But if I show you the data in a, like in a visually, if I show you the data, then we can understand this particular application very easily. But for that, you require some data visualization libraries are required. So I'm importing it actually, guys. Everything is going to be by importing some libraries, we do it actually, guys. So on x-axis, it will be price. On y-axis, it is going to be mileage. So can you identify the relationship? It's a negative relationship actually. Because x-axis containing the price of the car, y-axis is going to be contains the mileage actually. So you can see that it's a negative correlation actually. As the mileage increasing, price is decreasing. Lower mileage, higher the price. Higher the mileage, lower the price actually. Got it? So to understand that correlations and all these things, we require this particular data visualization. Fine, Shreya? Fine. Yes, Varma, daily class from 8:30 to 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. is the class timing. Okay. Yes, Vijay Lakshmi, how a business analytics benefits in the space of a data science. Yes, it is going to be all about an predictive analysis. So as you know that the business analytics means what has been happened. What has been happened only as part of the business analytics will do that. But coming to this particular data science, it is all about some statistical techniques to understand how the data was distributed. Based on that, there are some statistical techniques has been came actually, guys. As part of data analytics and all these things, it is going to be something like summarization, like how much sales we have been done in 2018, how much sales we have been done in 2019. Sales has been increased. That's it. Sales has been increased, sales has been decreased, take a decision. But as part of the data analytics part, it can identify. So like what patterns it is following, in which year, that also we can do that in as part of a data analytics. But data analytics will only tell you about what has been happened in the past. But coming to the data science, what has been happened in the past, and beyond that, it can predict the future also. And not only that, we are going to be having some techniques like deep learning, AI applications. These we cannot do this as part of the data analytics part. Data analytics only works with the data. But data science not only works with the data, we work with images, we work with audio files, we are going to work with, so all that like the driverless cars, all these are the examples of our, what we can call it as about a data science actually. So prediction, artificial intelligence, all these are going to be the scope of the data science applications. Okay, fine. Weekly 6 days classes. Mohanty, it is going to be 6 days, Saturday to Sunday actually. Okay, fine. Yeah, weekends are off. Weekends means only Sunday is going to be off. Okay, fine. Yes, I think, yes, Chaudhary, I think you have been asking a question. If I attach a fake experience certificate for 3 to 4 years, absolutely. Then which language supports me to getting a job chances actually? So which language, if you want to go to the data science, you have to, it's a data science. Data science is not a language. There are some techniques are there, but which language we are going to use? We use as a Python or something like that, what we can use. Okay. So that is the question you're asking, Chaudhary? Okay. So Suresh, what is the difference between, it's an advanced data analytics also going to be a little bit more, we are going to be having, it's an analytics. Inside that we are having a data analytics. Okay. And advanced data analytics is there. I don't find it as part of analytics means the basic analytics will be there. Advanced analytics means we are going to be having some correlations, chi-square test. We are going to be having those things. We are going to be having it actually. So this is going to be data science is going to be about using data analytics, data visualization, machine learning, deep learning, all this collectively what we are going to call it as a data science actually. Okay. Yes. Yes, Chaudhary, it's a, what is your question here is going to be nothing but Java or Python means, as you can see that here I am going to be which is going to be I'm working on the data science actually. So for the data science, I will be using this language, what I'm going to call it as Python. So what is your choice means for what purpose you are learning, that is very important. That is very important. So for what purpose you are learning. For example, if you want to learn a language for machine learning means we have to learn Python. If you want to develop a web applications or if you want to develop some business applications, then we have to go for a Java related application. So for what purpose you are learning the language is important here now. So as of my subject, I'm saying that I'm going to teach you the data science and machine learning, AI, all these things. For this, I'm going to be used as a Python, not with that particular Java. If you want to develop some kind of an UI based application, UI related applications, then we are going to be going for something called as a Java. We have to learn it actually. So for what purpose you are learning is important here. Okay. So if you can just give me the clarity about how we are going to be using, then it is going to be. Yes, is there any certification exams are there? Yes, absolutely. We are having from Microsoft. From Microsoft, we are going to be having some kind of a certification exams are going to be there, basically for machine learning. Okay, fine, guys. Right. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions? If we have any questions, we'll discuss them and then we'll wind up the session. I think I was not sure about that, but in the next class, I'll tell you because I didn't remember that number. We have some number is there, some around 990 or 790, something is there. I'll just check it out. I'll just check it out. Otherwise, you can also check on the internet, you can check, which is going to be, let us say that, which is going to be what we can say that Microsoft certification. It is going to be Microsoft certification on AI ML, on which is going to be on ML or data science. It's a Microsoft certification on AI and ML actually. So AI, which is going to be 900. Okay, fine. That is going to be the case. Fine, guys. Okay. So guys, thank you. I think hope all your questions has been answered, guys. So thank you for today, guys. And as I already told you, tomorrow also we'll be having an, yes, you can crack the examination. You can you can crack it. Okay, fine. And as I told you now, guys, tomorrow also you will be having one more demo class will be there, guys. So you can attend the class at a free of cost only, as I already told you. Maybe from next week we'll be starting because this Friday also you may not have a class actually, guys, because we have some we are having this we have some team meeting is there actually, a team outing is there actually, so that is the reason. Generally it won't happen actually. It's a once in a 3 months our team will go outside, team outings will be there, so we have to attend them compulsory. So this Friday we are planning, so maybe I will inform you tomorrow anyhow. I'll inform you about that, but no worries, tomorrow also we'll be having some technical discussion about that, and based on that we can start up with our regular classes actually, I guess. Okay, I think hope all of you are fine with the today's class, guys, and thank you for attending this particular demo class, guys, and we'll meet you tomorrow, same link and same time actually, guys. Thank you all of you and have a nice day once again, guys. Thank you all of you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you all of you, guys. Good night.